Hey GeoNerds, today we find ourselves at Herston on the grounds of the Royal Brisbane Hospital. Just walking past and I saw this amazing wall, which I call the Great Wall of Herston. This thing is about 30 metres high, and as you can see it has two different sections, one that's got piles in it, the other one's straight. And there's a reason for that, and it's about geology, so let's have a bit of a look at how that works out. So if you have a look at this particular section of the wall, you can see it's got a lot of piles. Scale, you can see that excavator, all that dirt in front of us there, all that fill is going to go. It's coming right down to this ground level. So they drill those piles from above while the dirt is all still there. And they, because it's safe, obviously they can get the machinery up there, they drill all the piles, and they get to the point where they can then dig the dirt away from them when they've got them strong enough. And you can see all that tuff in front there. They've been moving stuff everywhere. So now let's have a look at the components of these walls. So this is called a pile diaphragm wall. So that's a pile, looks like a big concrete telegraph pole. It's actually formed in the ground. That's the great big concrete beam on top that holds them all together. And you've also got these, which are very important, the anchors. These are called rock anchors. They go way back into the rock and pull all in and hold it all in one big structure. And this is the actual diaphragm wall, which in this case I think is spray-crete. They've just shotcreted it in. And yeah, it looks fantastic. And that's because behind that is shale. On this end, we've got Brisbane tuff. This stuff's 150, 200 megapascals, it isn't going anywhere. But it needs to be kept there. So that's the wire mesh. They're rock anchors, of course. And then they just spray concrete over the top with shotcrete, which is, yeah, pretty straightforward.
To give you an idea, folks, of how quickly this strata changes, you can still hear the excavator there working behind me. When we come around here, the camera's going to have a little heart attack when we go into the shade, but it'll sort itself out. And here we are, here's a cutting here next to a laboratory of some type. And that's all shale. That's good old Narromley Fernvale shale. And yeah, not that far away either. I'm wondering if behind that secant wall is this, and behind the other wall is tuff, because the tuff sits on top of this. And when you look at the structure behind us there, that's exactly what we're seeing. Some interesting, there's some nice quartz veining there in this shale, injected into it, in the cracks. You hydrothermal quartz. And when you come around to here, where a beautiful tree root has come straight through the face, what you got there is a patch of argillite, that really light siltstone stuff that breaks up, and it's all, I won't put it down, but it's all over the ground in front of me because it's not going to stay there.
So here we are, folks, this is up the top, this is a cutting, and you can see the rock bolts in it, but that's tuff. I just thought I'd show you this. The whole Brisbane Hospital is built on tuff. Well, most of it is. We're going to have a look at a few maps in a minute that'll show you that's not completely true, but there certainly is a lot of tuff here. I just thought, let's get an idea of where we are. This is from 1936, and this is the area we're talking about. You can see the Brisbane Hospital there and all the stuff from 1936, the old Nogger Creek up there before they beautified it. And this is the area we're talking about. Back in those days, it was probably a fairly heavy slope, so it wasn't really useful for much. And I think they have obviously changed a lot of the other buildings. That cross building's gone now. They knocked that down years ago. You can see Old Bowen Bridge Road there. This is the geology map. Of course, the green is the Brisbane tuff, the purple is the Narromley Fernvale shale. To give you an idea, the old Brisbane tuff's Triassic, so 200 million years, and the Narromley Fernvale 200 million years older. And you see that green line runs right through where we were just standing in that shot before. That is the tuff to the right and the Fernvale shale to the left. And that's pretty much what we see on the ground. I thought I'd whiz up a LiDAR for you to show you what they're cutting. This LiDAR's probably about 10 years old, but they're chopping all that out. There's a lot of dirt coming out of there, there really is. And I just thought I'd chuck in a couple of other shots of the area. Wasn't just walking past. In the middle of this is Eildon Hill, and I was up there the other night shooting a sunset shot when I saw this wall, and I thought, my God, this thing's huge. So I thought, self, let's go and have a look. So I did. This building was there, it's now gone. They knocked the whole building down, cut into the side of the hill and everything, knocked it down, she's gonski. And I just thought I'd show you what that car park down the bottom actually looked like before they, that's it, that's where all those excavators were working before. So yeah, it's quite an improvement, but I suppose you're asking yourself, what do they do? Well, they're spending $1.1 billion on this precinct overhaul, and this particular part, what are they building? Well, of course, a car park. A multi-storey car park, which is a very important part of a hospital. I don't want to make light of a car park. I've had people I care very much about in hospital for long periods of time, and that car park is a very important thing. So I think is it money well spent? I don't know, $1.1 billion, whether it's 6 million Queenslanders? I'll do the math, it's scary. So here we are, just about to leave, and I got this burning feeling in the back of my head. Ronald McDonald House, of course, absolutely fantastic, does a great job.